guys, and welcome back to Opal&Mint. I'm Ashley. Welcome back to World Watercolor Month, and welcome back to our Flower Every Day series. This is where we're painting a flower every single day for the month of July to celebrate World Watercolor Month. This was day 1 and day 2, so let's move on to day 3. I'm hoping I can keep this one actually short. So day 3 is, I believe these are Echinacea flowers. These are so much fun to paint, so I'm excited for this one. Give you a little preview of what the next day will be. Again, these are photos sent in by subscribers that we are painting, still using Meaden's watercolor paper. Today we are going to be using the Artex watercolors and the Fumui paintbrushes. Since this is a cardboard palette, it does not have a mixing surface, but I'm going to use just a little dish to mix my paints. So today I really want to focus on simplicity in the painting. So there's a lot going on in this photo, but we're going to simplify and just do a couple of these with some leaves. We're going to try and keep this one very quick today. So I'm going to take the size 8 from the Fumui. Got my cloth, my water. Okay, so let's see what kind of pink we can get. Actually, we need the center first. And the center is kind of orange-ish. And there's really harsh lighting and shadows in this. So we're gonna have a very, very dark on this side and then lighter on this side. But we're gonna start with the lighter. So I'm going to get some, let's get, some of these wet. There we go, just get some Cad Red Pale. I'm going to put a little bit of my Indian Yellow in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take a touch of Ultramarine to mute it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start with this mixture. So this is kind of a muted orange, and then we're going to add in some different color on the edge. So, okay, so the center of these is very cone shaped, kind of dome shaped. So we're gonna just kind of sketch out this shape here like so. And then it has a little bit of uneven spiky texture on the edges. So just kind of do a little bitty flick with the tip of your brush like so. While that's still wet, if we can pull this down, we want to put some depth in. So I'm actually going to take the Payne's Gray from this set. It's not as blue as most Payne's Gray. It's more, a little bit more neutral, but I'm going to mix it in with what I have here. And we're just going to tap that color into this side and kind of fade that up and out. Okay. We want the most of it down at this base where it's really dark. Oh, so sorry. Focus. Why are you not focusing? So I'm going to wipe my brush off thoroughly, and I'm actually going to lift a little bit of that back out. Just got a little bit too far with the dark. Okay. All right. And we might go on another layer once that is dry, but we'll see. Okay. I now want to mix up some pink. So I'm just going to come on this side of the dish, and I'm going to start with a rose. My rose has a little bit of blue on top, but that's okay. So I think our rose needs a little bit of crimson because it's a little bit too purple. Whoa, that went a little too far. So a little bit more rose. The fun of color mixing for me is this kind of back and forth dance of getting to the right color. So I feel like I do need actually a touch of blue now. So I'm going to take cerulean, mix that in there. Back in with rose, crimson. Okay, so if I take this paint right here and go straight into the paper, it's going to be too deep of a color. But when you're using watercolors, you don't usually use white to lighten. You just use water. I feel like it needs one more touch of that blue. Okay, so this is super deep. However, if we take our brush, I'm going to wipe off excess color. I'm going to dip it in the water and just swipe along the edge of the cup. Now let's see what's on our brush. Going to press and lift. Still a little bit dark, but I washed my brush off and there's that. I feel like it's still slightly off on the color. Maybe a touch of yellow. I'm gonna take some lemon yellow. Okay, let's see what this looks like. All right, and all these petals are kind of coming drooping downward. So press and lift, press and lift. Refine the edge of that as needed. Ones coming out here look really thin because you're just seeing the edge of it. And then about one more right here. This color is way off. Oh my goodness. That's okay. All right, I'm gonna lift some of that color out so it's not quite so deep. Still pretty, however. Just not quite the color I was going for. Should have just stuck with the rose. All right, putting a little bit of that in there. Okay, so there's our first flower. We're gonna put in some more shadows in just a moment, but let's go into the green. So I'm gonna take olive and coming straight from the center, just gonna pull down a stem. Like so. All right, and I think we need one more flower. Or should we just keep it really simple and do the one? We might keep it really simple today, actually. I think that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more of that green and we're going to look at these leaves. Okay, normal-ish leaf shape here. So got one, we're just going to kind of come over the stem, press and drag. Have one coming up here, press and lift. I kind of like that. It looks like kind of just the side of the leaf. And most of the foliage is kind of down at the base, so we're going to keep that like that. And I'm going to do another one. It's going to kind of come off this way. Okay. Maybe one more that's behind that one. Okay. This one looks like a jalapeno. That did not help it. Okay, I don't like this one here. I'm going to lift it. So I'm getting water and kind of scrubbing the paper. And I'm gonna blot. And one more round of scrub and blot. Okay. And I feel like it needs to have one that comes up like so. And then another skinny one. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of our pink mixture actually and tap it in some of these areas on the leaf. Since it is the opposite color of our green, it's gonna give us some kind of brown shadows. So just putting those in like that. Okay. I'm also going to take our mixture and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of splatter on this one. Taking our green. All right, so we're going to take a small brush now. This is the Fumui Zero, so this is a little bitty one. And we're going to take that Payne's Gray, getting some of that Payne's Gray in my bristles. And we're going to kind of make this spiky, pokey texture. So down at this base, we want the most densely packed. And then we're just gonna kind of put little bitty lines going up and out from this center. Like so. Okay, so there is the center. All right, and then I'm actually going to take just the rose color, kind of getting it in those bristles. And I'm putting in some of these darker moments. And I know that like I would normally put that in with a shadow color, but I kind of want this vibrant pink. So do that. Some little bitty lines. This side has more shadow. Like so. A little bit underneath here. And here. Boop, boop. Okay. So that one's just a little bit different. I normally would not have painted this way. Kind of wanted to just explore and go. I'm taking a little bit more green. I want to have some depth to this stem a little bit. And since we have our thin brush out, I am just painting some little details on these leaves while I'm here. Okay, like so. All right, I think that is going to wrap up this one. This one was hopefully a little bit quicker and a little bit more manageable, but I've definitely painted this flower a completely different way before, but I thought this one was actually kind of fun. So anyway, that is day 3. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope you come back again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye. I might need to zoom out. It might be a little too close, but you can still see that, right? Okay.